Okay. Mike's on. Okay. Hello and welcome. I am Relk Master, if you don't already know, and I will be starting to be streaming Skyrim here in a little bit. I played this game a lot a few years ago, and I wanted to get back into it for a little bit, so that's what we're going to do. So Yep. Yes. Here we go. That's a let's do this. Yay! And we are having the broken mod cart. Which means we're going to quit back to the main menu. And we won't get the I'm going to load a prisoner save and skip the opening sequence.
Ulfric Stormcloak, Jarl of Windhelm.
It has been an honor, Jarl Ulfric.
Here we go.
Ralof of Riverwood. Lokir of Rorikstead. No, I'm not a rebel! You can't do this!
Bye, Lokir.
You're not gonna kill me!
Archers!
Bye.
Anyone else feel like running?
Wait. You there. Step forward. Who?
Okay. Let's see what we shall play as. Let's go Bosmir. Stick with this preset. How I look really doesn't matter considering I'm going to be in helmets most of the time and you don't really see my face in dialogue. Round.
You. Not many wood elves would choose to come alone to Skyrim. Captain, what should we do? He's not on the list.
Forget the list. He goes to the block.
By your orders, Captain. I'm sorry. We'll make sure he remains returned to Valor. Follow the captain, prisoner.
Ulfric Stormcloak. Some here in Helgen call you a hero, but a hero doesn't use a power like the voice to murder his king and usurp his throne. You started this war, plunged Skyrim into chaos, and now the Empire is going to put you down and restore the peace.
What was that?
It's nothing. Carry on.
Yes, General Tullius. Give them their last rites.
As we commend your souls to Aetherius, blessings of the 8 divines upon
For the love of Talos, shut up and let's get this over with.
learn as you wish.
Come on! I haven't thought all morning. My ancestors are smiling at me, Imperials. Can you say the same?
You Imperial bastards!
Justice!
Death to the Stormcloaks!
As fearless in death as he was in life.
Woo-woo.
Next, the Wood Elf.
Here it is again. Did you hear that?
I said, next prisoner.
To the block, prisoner. Nice and easy.
What in oblivion is that?
It's a dragon!
What do you see?
Wow! I'm gonna call you Fluffy.
What is that thing? Could the legends be true?
Legends don't work. Legends.
We need to move now! Up through the tower. Let's go! Let's go!
Oh, hi Fluffy. How are you? Someone's a little bit cranky today.
Prisoner, keep close to me if you want to stay that way. Gunnar, take care of the boy. I have to find General Tullius and join the defense.
Gods guide you, Haggar.
Stay close to the wall! Quickly, follow me! It's you and me, prisoner. Stay close.
Nothing kills him!
Vela, you damn traitor! Out of my way!
Kill this thing!
You're not stopping us this time.
Fine. I hope that dragon takes you all to Sovngarde.
Go, come on! Into the keep!
With me, prisoner. Let's go. Come on. We need to get inside.
Okay, let's get inside. La 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 la. It's the void of the loading screen.
Looks like we're the only ones who made it. Was that really a dragon? Bring us of the end times? We should keep moving. Come here. Let me see if I can get those bindings off. There you go. Take a look around. There should be plenty of gear to choose from.
Ooh,
I'm going to
books!
see if I can find something for these bones.
Oh, money.
See if one of these chests has some armor for you.
The Holds of Skyrim, a Fields Officer Guide for use by officers of the Imperial Legion. Welcome, Royal Officer of the Empire. You have been given this guide to help you and those men under your command to better understand the geography of Skyrim. Since you will be serving in Skyrim for a lengthy period of time, this information should prove invaluable. Ooh. Skyrim is organized into 9 holds. A hold is a large area of land roughly equivalent to the country in Cyrodiil. Each hold is governed by a Jarl who maintains his city in the hold's capital city. 4 of these holds are fairly small and sparsely populated. As a result, the capitals are little more than towns. The 5 major cities of Skyrim act as capitals for the larger holds. Following is a detailed review of each hold. Eastmarch. Located in the eastern reaches of Skyrim, Eastmarch shares a common border with Morrowind. Jarl Ulfric Stormcloak rules from the ancient city of Windhelm, and he and his followers should be considered your most serious threat. Do not tread lightly in Eastmarch, for the Stormcloaks are at their strongest and most organized in these lands. As an Imperial soldier, you will find few friends here. Falkreath. Located in the pine forests of southern Skyrim, Falkreath borders Cyrodiil to the south and Hammerfell to the west. Its most prominent geographical feature, Lake Linalta, covers a vast portion of the region's central landscape. The hold capital, also called Falkreath, is home to the largest cemetery in Skyrim as a result of numerous battles that have taken place over the years. The remainder of the area is almost entirely wilderness, and the only other notable settlement is Helgen to the east. Falkreath's position in Skyrim is rather strategic for the Empire. It not only controls access to the Reach, Whiterun, and the Rift, but also acts as an important supply line in and out of Cyrodiil. Halfengar. Solitude, the seat of the High King of Skyrim and the capital of Halfengar Hold, has always welcomed the Empire with open arms. Much commerce flows among the rivers here, and you will find the folks of this hold to be among the most hospitable in Skyrim. As you venture forth in your campaigns, be sure to maintain a secure supply line back to Solitude. The Empire maintains ample provisions in Castle Dwar, from which General Tullius commands all legions stationed in Skyrim. Halmarch. This hold is divided evenly between wind-swept tundra, dotted with farms, and a huge, stinking salt marsh. There is little of interest here, save perhaps for the hold's capital, Morthal. Jarl Idgrod Ravencrone has been cooperative enough with the Empire in the past, but will ultimately look out for her own interests if put in a difficult position. While the hold offers minimal strategic value to the Empire, it would make ideal staging ground for a Stormcloak siege of Solitude, and so must be held against the enemy. The Pale. The Pale is a barren realm covered by vast fields of ice and snow. Its boundaries stretch from the center of Skyrim all the way to the northern coast. Here at the capital city Dawnstar can be found one of the busiest ports in the province. With access to the coastal waterways of Skyrim, Dawnstar could prove vital in the war effort. Should the Stormcloaks choose to attack Solitude from the river, this port would make a tempting target due to its close proximity. The Reach. Dominating the western border of Skyrim, the Reach is made up almost entirely of steep, craggy mountains. Little grows in this forbidding realm, but the capital city of Markoth is a nigh impregnable stone fortress that would make an excellent defensive position for either side in the war. Be aware that this dangerous region of Skyrim is home to the Forsworn, the rebellious natives of the Reach. They know the terrain, can strike without warning, and count the Empire as an enemy. If they attack, you must neither give nor expect any mercy. The Rift. This hold occupies the southeast corner of Skyrim, and much like the Reach in the west, is dominated by tall mountain peaks. The climate in the Rift is milder than in the northern holds, and there is more vegetation to be found here. Farming thrives as a result. A word of warning about Riften, the Hold's capital city. Our agents have reasons to suspect that the Thieves Guild makes its home here, though it is much diminished from its strength in previous years. Nevertheless, mind that your men keep an eye on their coin purses should they have a reason to spend any length of time in the city. Whiterun. The central hold is characterized by wide, grassy plains that are homes to numerous farms. Many roads pass through Whiterun, joining the more distant holds together. The hold's capital city, also called Whiterun, sits high on a rocky promontory amid a large, flat swath of scrubland. Among the wealthiest cities of Skyrim, Whiterun has usually been friendly to Emperor's soldiers. Winterhold. This bleak, snow-blown hold in the northeast corner of Skyrim is utterly inhospitable. Perhaps the mages of the College of Winterhold chose to make their home there because they knew they would be left largely alone. As with Falkreath and Whiterun, the name Winterhold describes both the hold and its capital city, though the word city barely applies. The hold capital is a meager village built near the Mages' College. Few other noteworthy settlements exist in this frozen waste, and is unlikely to play any significant part in the war. Interesting. So let's yoink this.
Got to be a sword or two in one of these chests. Look around.
Yeah, I'll look around.
See if one of these chests has a bomb.
I have unique tactics. In the First Years of War, Volume 1 by Codus Callianus to read first, okay? The legions could learn from the unconventional tactics used by the Khajiit in the 5 Years' War against Valenwood. I was stationed at the Sphinx Moth Legion fort on the border near the dune and witnessed many of the northern skirmishes firsthand. The war started with the so-called Slaughter of Torval. The Khajiit claim that the Bosmir invaded the city without provocation and killed over 1,000 citizens before being driven off by reinforcements from a nearby jungle tribe. The Bosmir claimed that the attack was in retaliation for Khajiit bandits who were attacking wood caravans headed for Valenwood. In the spring of the Third Era 396, the war moved closer to Fort Sphinxmoth, I was posted on lookout and saw parts of the conflict. I later spoke with both Khajiit and Bosmir, who fought in the battle, and it served as an excellent example of how the Khajiit used a mixture of ground and tree units to win the war. The Khajiit began the fight in an unusual way by sending tree-cutting teams of Kasserat and fearsome Sunserat, or battle cats, into the outskirts of Valenwood's forests. When word reached the Bosmir that trees were being felled, allegedly a crime in the strange Bosmir region, a unit of archers were dispatched from larger conflicts in the south. The Bosmir were thus goaded into splitting their forces into smaller groups. The Bosmir archers took up the positions in the remaining trees, whose branches were now 20 or more feet apart, allowing some light into the forest floors. The Bosmir spent the remaining trees with their magic into small fortifications from which to fire their bows. When the tree cutters arrived the next morning, a half a dozen Khajiit fell to the Bosmir arrows in the first volley. After that, the Khajiit took large wooden shields from the backs of the Sancherat and made a crude shelter. The Khajiit, even the enormous Sirach, were able to hide between this shelter and the larger trees. When it became apparent that the Khajiit would not leave their shelter, some Bosmir chose to descend and engage the Khajiit sword to claw. When the Bosmir were nearly upon the shelter, one of the Khajiit began playing on a native instrument of plucked metal bars. This was a signal of some kind, and a small group of man-like Ohms and Ohmsrat emerged from covered holes in the forest floor. Although outnumbered, they were attacking from behind by surprise and won the ground quickly. The Bosmir archers in the trees would have still won the battle were they not having troubles of their own. A group of Dagi and Dagirat, two of the less common forms of Khajiit, who live in the trees of the Tenmore forest, jumped from one tree to another under a magical cover of silence. They took up positions in the higher branches that could not hold a Bosmir's weight. When the signal came, they used their claws and either torches or spells of fires. Accounts from the two survivors I spoke with vary on this point. To distract the archers while the battle on the grounds took place, a few of the archers were able to flee, but most were killed. Apparently, the Dagi and the Dagirat have a more magical ability than widely believed, and they were able to keep themselves magically silent for so long. One of the surviving Bosmir told me that he saw a few ordinary cats among the Dagi, and even claimed these ordinary cats are known as Alki, and they were the spellcasters, but Bosmir are almost as unreliable as Khajiit when it comes to the truth, and I cannot believe that a house cat can cast spells. At the end of the day, the Khajiit lost perhaps a half dozen fighters out of a force of no more than 4 dozen, while the Bosmir lost nearly an entire company of archers. The survivors were unable to report back before a second company of archers arrived, and the strategy was repeated again with similar results. Finally, a much larger force was sent, and the Bosmir won the battle with the help of the native animals of Valenwood. That third skirmish and the Khajiit response I will discuss in the second volume of this series. Okay, let's go on to this book too. That was interesting.
Got to be a sword or two in one of these chests. Look around. See if one of these chests has it. Give that sword a few swings, too. Let's keep moving. That thing is still out there.
Okay, let's go, Hadvar. I'm right behind you. Okay?
Come on, this way.
We need to get moving. That dragon is tearing up the whole keep.
Just give me a minute. I'm out of bed.
Hear that? Storm clouds. Maybe we can reason with him.
That's the bed. Hurry up!
Sophie.
I cannot bear. Is it over?
That'll teach you to cross me. Let me see. Get that door open.
What are you doing? We need to get out of Helgen, now!
These Imperials have potions in here. We're going to need them.
Is someone there?
Where'd you come from? Take us alive! I've had enough of you. Oh, you've got it.
An old store. See if you can find some potions. Might come in handy. Done then? This way. Come on.
You fellows have so long just in these boys and how I can their comrades.
Don't you even know what's going on? A dragon is attacking.
A dragon. Please, don't make up nonsense. Come to think of it, I did hear some odd noises coming from over there.
Come with us. We need to get out of here.
You have no authority over me.
Didn't you hear me? I said the keep is under attack. Wait a second. Looks like there's something in this cage.
Don't bother with that. Lost the key ages ago.
See if you can get it open with some picks. We'll need everything we can get.
Sure. Take all my things. Please.
Grab what you can and let's go.
But book. The book right here. and I want to read it, okay? Look. It's the brief history of the Empire, Part 1, by Stranek Cthulhu III, Imperial Historian. Before the rule of Tiber Septim, all Tamriel was in chaos. The poet Traxes called that period of continuous unrest days and nights of blood and venom. The kings were a petty lot of grasping tyrants who fought Tiber's attempt to bring order to the land, but they were disorganized as they were desolate, and the strong hand of Septim brought peace forcefully to Tamriel. The year was the Second Era, 896. The following year, the Emperor declared the beginning of the new era. Thus began the Third Era, year Ot. For 38 years, the Emperor Tiber reigned supreme. It was a lawful, pious, and glorious age when justice was known to one and all, from serf to sovereign. On Tiber's death, it reigned for an entire fortnight, as the land of Tamriel itself was weeping. The Emperor's grandson, Pelagius, came to the throne. Though his reign was short, he was as strong and resolute as his father had been, and Tamriel could have enjoyed a continuation of the Golden Age. Alas, an unknown enemy of the Septim family hired that accursed organization of cutthroats, the Dark Brotherhood, to kill the Emperor Pelagius as he knelt at prayer at the temple of the one in the imperial city. Pelagius' reign lasted less than 3 years. Pelagius had no living children, so the crown imperial passed to his first cousin, the daughter of Tiber's brother Agnarat, Kentra, former queen of Silvanar, assumed the throne as Kentra I. Her reign was blessed with prosperity and good harvest, and she herself was an avid patroness of the art, music, and dance. Kentra's son was crowned after her death, the first emperor of Tamriel to use the imperial name Uriel. Uriel I was the great lawmaker of the Septim dynasty, and a promoter of independent organizations and guilds. Under his kind but firm hand, the Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild increased in prominence throughout Tamriel. His son and successor, Uriel II, reigned for 18 years from the death of Uriel I in 3rd Era 64 to Pelagius' II's ascension in the 3rd Era in 82. Tragically, the rule of Uriel II was cursed with blights, plagues, and insurrections. The tenderness he inherited from his father did not serve Tamriel well, and little justice was done. Pelagius III inherited not only the throne from his father, but the debt from the latter's poor financial and judicial management. Pelagius dismissed all of the elder council and allowed only those willing to pay great sums to resume their seats. He encouraged similar acts to be among his vassals, the kings of Tamriel, and by the end of his 17-year reign, Tamriel had returned to prosperity. His critics, however, have suggested that any advisor possessed of wisdom and not gold has been summarily ousted by Pelagius, and this may have led to some of the troubles his son Antiochus faced as his turn became emperor. Antiochus was certainly one of the more flamboyant members of the usually austere Septim family. He had numerous mistresses and nearly as many wives, and was renowned for the grandeur of his dress and his high good humor. Unfortunately, his reign was rife with civil war, surpassing even that of his grandfather Uriel II. The War of the Isle in the Third Era, 110, 12 years after Antiochus assumed the throne, nearly took the province of Somerset Isle away from Tamriel. The United Alliance of the kings of Somerset and Antiochus only managed to defeat King Orgum of the island kingdom of Paludonia due to a freak storm. Legend credits the Sigic order of the Isle of Artanium with the sorcery behind the Tempest. The story of Contraia II, heiress to her father Antiochus' throne, is certainly one of the saddest tales in imperial history. Her first cousin Uriel, son of the queen Fatima of Syracuse, accused Contraia of being a bastard, alluding to the infamous decadence of the imperial city during her father's reign. When this accusation failed to stop her coronation, Uriel bought the support of several disgruntled kings of High Rock, Skyrim, and Morrowind, and with the Queen Fatima's assistance, he coordinated 3 attacks on the Septim Empire. The first attack occurred in the Ilek Bay region, which separates High Rock and Hammerfell. Contraia's entourage was massacred and the Empress taken captive. For 2 years, Contraia II languished in an imperial prison believed to be somewhere in Glenpoint or Glenmoral before she was slain in her cell under mysterious circumstances. The second attack was a series of imperial garrisons along the coastal Morrowind Islands. The Empress's consort, Khotin Ernex, fell defending the forts. Third and final attack was the siege of the imperial city itself, occurring after the Elder Council had split up the army to attack western High Rock and eastern Morrowind. The weakened government had little defense against Uriel's determined aggression and capitulated only after a fortnight of resistance. Uriel took the throne that same evening and proclaimed himself Uriel III, Emperor of Tamriel. The year was the Third Era, 121. Thus began the War of the Red Diamond, described in Volume 2 of this series. Volume 2 is right there. Yep, it's right there. Shall I? I shall. Because no matter what's happening out there, nothing's more important than books. A Brief History of the Empire, Part 2. Astronix Catuli III, Imperial Historian. Volume 1 of the series describes the brief lives of the first 8 emperors of the Septim dynasty, beginning with the glorious Tiber Septim and ending with his great-great-great-great-grandniece, Contraia II. Contraia's murder in Glenpoint while in captivity is considered by some to be the end of the pure strain of Septim blood in the imperial family. Certainly marks the end of something significant. Uriel III not only proclaimed himself Emperor of Tamriel, but also Uriel Septim III, taking the eminent surname as a title. In truth, his surname was Manticaro from his father's line, In the time, Uriel III was deposed by his crimes revealed, but the tradition of taking the name Septim as a title for the Emperor Tamriel did not. Oops. I need to go back to that book and finish reading it. Not die with him. For 6 years, the War of the Red Diamond, which takes its name from the Septim family's famous badge, tore the empire apart. The combatants were the 3 surviving children of Pelagius II, Fatima, Sepphoris, and Magnus, and their various offspring. Fatima, of course, supported her son Uriel III and had the combined support of all of Skyrim and northern Morrowind. With the efforts of Sepphoris and Magnus, however, the province of High Rock turned coat. The provinces of Hammerfell, Somerset Isle, Valenwood, Elsewhere, and Blackmarsh were divided in their loyalty. But most kings supported Sepphoris and Magnus. In the Third Era, 127, Uriel III was captured in the Battle of Ichdeg in Hammerfell. En route to his trial in the Imperial City, a mob overtook his prisoner's carriage and burned him alive within it. His captor and uncle continued on to the Imperial City, and by common acclaim was proclaimed Sepphoris I, Emperor of Tamriel. Sepphoris' reign was marked by nothing but war. By all accounts he was a kind and intelligent man, but what Tamriel needed was a great warrior, and he unfortunately was that. It took an additional 10 years of constant warfare for him to defeat his sister Fatima, the so-called Wolf Queen of Solitude, who died in the siege of her city-state in the year 137. Sepphoris survived his sister by only 3 years. He had never had time during the war years to marry, so it was his brother, the 4th child of Pelagius II, who assumed the throne. The Emperor Magnus, who was already elderly when he took up the imperial diadem, and the business of punishing the traitorous kings of the War of Red Diamond drained much of his remaining strength. Legend accuses Magnus' son and heir, Pelagius III, of patricide, but that seems highly unlikely for no other reason than that Pelagius was the king of Solitude following the death of Fatima, and seldom visited the imperial city. Pelagius III, sometimes called Pelagius the Mad, was proclaimed emperor in the 145th year of the Third Era. Almost from the start, his eccentricities and behavior were noted at court. He embarrassed dignitaries, offended his vassal kings, and on the occasion marked the end of an imperial grand ball by attempting to hang himself. His long-suffered wife was finally awarded the regency of Tamriel, and Pelagius III was sent to a series of healing institutions and asylums until his death in the Third Era, 153, at the age of 34. The Empress Regent of Tamriel was proclaimed Empress Cataria I among the death of her husband. Some who did not mark the end of the Septim bloodline with the death of Cataria II considered the ascendancy of this dark elf woman to be the true mark of its decline. Her defenders, on the other hand, assert that though Cataria was not descended from Tiber, the son she had with Pelagius was, so the imperial chain did continue. Despite racist assertions to the contrary, Catara's 46-year reign was one of the most celebrated in Tamriel's history. Uncomfortable in the imperial city, Cataria traveled extensively throughout the empire, such as no emperor has ever had since Tiber's day. She repaired much of the damage that previous emperors broken alliances and bungled diplomacy created. The people of Tamriel came to love the Empress far more than the nobility did. Katara's death in a minor skirmish in Black Marsh is a favorite subject of conspiracy-minded historians. The sage Montalius's discovery, for instance, of a disenfranchised branch of the Septim family and their involvement with the skirmish was a revelation indeed. When Cassander assumed the throne upon the death of his mother, he was already middle-aged. Only half-elven, he aged like a Breton. In fact, he had left the rule of Waycrest to his half-brother. Uriel, due to poor health, nevertheless, as the only true-blood relation of Pelagius and thus Tiber, he was pressed into accepting the throne. To no one's surprise, Emperor Cassander's reign did not last long. In 2 years, he joined his predecessors in eternal slumber. Uriel Lariat, Cassander's half-brother and the child of Katara I and her imperial consort Glaverin Lariat, after the death of Pelagius III, left the kingdom of Waycrest to reign as Uriel IV. Legally, Uriel IV was a septim. Cassander had adopted him into the royal family when he had become king of Waycrest. Nevertheless, the council and the people of Tamriel, he was a bastard child of Katara. Uriel did not possess the dynamism of his mother, and his long 43-year reign was a hotbed of sedition. Uriel IV's story is told in the 3rd volume of this series. There's a fancy book in here. I now know Sparks. Oh, a book. The Book of the Dragonborn. Okay. The Book of the Dragonborn by Prior Emmeline Medrine, Order of Talos, Wayun Priory, the year 360 of the Third Era, 21st of the reign of His Majesty Pelagius IV. Many people have heard the term Dragonborn. We are, of course, ruled by the Dragonborn Emperors, but the true meaning of the term is not commonly understood. For those of us in the Order of Talos, this is a subject near and dear to our hearts. And in this book, I will attempt to illuminate the history and significance of those known as Dragonborn, down through the ages. Most scholars agree that the term was first used in connection with the Covenant of Akatosh, when he blessed Saint Alessia and was given the Amulet of Kings and the Dragonfires in the Temple of the One were first lit. Akatosh, looking with pity upon the plight of man, drew precious blood from his own heart and blessed Saint Elisa with this blood of dragons, and made a covenant so that as long as Elisa's generation were true to the dragon blood, Akatosh would endeavor to seal tight the gates of oblivion and to deny the armies of Daedra and undead to their enemies. The Daedra-loving Elidos, those blessed by Akatosh with the dragon blood, became known more simply as Dragonborn. The connection with the rulers of the Empire were thus there from the beginning, and only those with the dragon blood were able to wear the Amulet of Kings and light the dragon fires. All the legitimate rulers of the Empire have been Dragonborn. The emperors and empresses of the First Soretic Empire, founded by Alicia, remain Cyrodiil and his heirs, and of course Tiber Septim and his heirs, down to our current emperor, His Majesty Pelagius Septim IV. Because of this connection with the emperors, however, the significance of the Dragonborn has been obscured and largely forgotten by all but scholars and those dedicated to the service of the blessed Talos, who was Tiber Septim. Very few realize that being Dragonborn is not a simple matter of hereditary, but being the blessing of Akatosh himself. It is beyond our understanding exactly how and why it is bestowed. Those who become emperor and light the dragon fires are surely Dragonborn. The proof is in the wearing of the amulet and the lighting of the fires, but the Dragonborn, thus able to do these things, or was doing the sign of the blessing of Akatosh descending upon them. All that we can say is that both and neither a divine mystery. The line of Septims have all been Dragonborn, of course, which is one reason the simplistic notion of it being hereditary has been so commonplace. But we know for certain that early Cyrodiilic rulers were not all related. There is also no evidence that Riemann Cyrodiil was descended from Alessa, although there are many legends that would make it so. Most of them dating from the time Riemann likely attempts to legitimize his rule. But we know that the blades, usually thought as the Emperor's bodyguards, originated in Akavari crusaders who invaded Tamriel for obscure reasons in the late First Era. They appear to have been searching for Dragonborn. The events at Pale Pass bear this out, and the Akavari were the first to proclaim Riemann Cyrodiil as Dragonborn. In fact, it was the Akavari who did the most to promote his standing as emperor, although Riemann himself never took that title in his lifetime, and of course there's no known hereditary connection between Tiber Septim and any of the previous Dragonborn rulers of Tamriel. Whether there can be more than one Dragonborn at any time is another mystery. The emperors have done their best to dismiss this notion, but of course the imperial succession itself means that, at the very least, there are two or more potential Dragonborns at any time. The current ruler and his or her heirs. The history of the Blades also hints this, though little is known of their activities during the interim between Riemann's empire and the rise of Tiber Septims. Many believed that the Blades continued to search out and guard those they believed were or might be Dragonborn during this time. Lastly, we come to the question of the true meaning of being Dragonborn. The connection with the dragons is so obvious that it's almost been forgotten in these days when dragons are a distant memory. We forget that in the early days, being Dragonborn meant having the dragon's blood. Some scholars believe that this was meant quite literally, although the exact significance is not known. The Nords tell tales of Dragonborn heroes who were great dragon slayers, able to steal the power of the dragons they killed. Indeed, it was well known that the Akavari sought out and killed many dragons during their invasion, and there is some evidence that this continued after they became Riemann Cyrodiil's Dragon Guard. Again, this connection to dragons. the direct predecessor of the blades of today. I leave you with what is known as a prophecy of the Dragonborn. It is said to originate in an Elder Scroll, although it is sometimes attributed to many ancient Akavari. Many have attempted to decipher it, and many have also believed that its omens have been fulfilled, and the advent of the last Dragonborn was at hand. I make no claims as an interpreter of prophecy, but it does suggest that the true significance of Akatosh's gift to mortal kind has yet to be fully understood. When misrule takes its place at the 8 corners of the world, when the brass tower walks and time is reshaped, when the thrice blessed fail and the red tower trembles, when the Dragonborn ruler loses his throne and the white tower falls, when the snow tower lies sundered, kingless, bleeding, the world eater wakes and the wheels turn upon the last Dragonborn. Hi, Nim.
There's no way out of that.
Better to stick together down here.
Where in Oblivion are we supposed to go? Where's the way out? Just give me a minute.
Let's start with some archery mastery. Oh, we're up here to take care of, so.
Let's see where this goes.
Yeah, we are.
Push on. I'm sure the others will find another way out.
Okay, you do that. I'll meet you around. Now grab a potion. Search the skeleton. Ooh, gold. And more gold.
That doesn't go anywhere. I guess we'd better try this one. No one here now. No one here now. What next? Giant snakes.
If that's what you're calling hunting spiders, yes, it's a good day for fishing.
This looks like the way. Hold up. There's a bear just ahead. See her? I'd rather not tangle with her now. You might be able to sneak by. Just take it nice and slow and watch where you step. Not the sneaking type. This looks like the way out. I was starting to wonder if we'd ever make it. Wait. Looks like he's gone for good this time. But I don't think we should stick around to see if he comes back. Closest town from here is River. My uncle's the blacksmith. I'm sure he'd help you out. It's probably best if we split up. Good luck. I wouldn't have made it without your help today. Listen, we should go to Solitude and join up with the Imperial Legion. We could really use some of it. If the rebels have themselves a dragon, General Tullius is the only one who can stop them. These are the Guardian Stones. 3 of the 13 ancient standing stones that dot Skyrim's landscape. Fate. It's never too late to take charge of it. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, we've already done that. But until we get that confirmed by General Tullius, just stay clear of other Imperial soldiers. Avoid any complications, alright?
Alright, bye. There's a mine up here behind.
Bad time to get lost, friend.
Oh. So, let's do come into this mine area and clear it.
This again? Told you we have things now.
Mine, mine, mine. They have been working down here for days now. It's not the time it's getting to me though, it's the tunnels. I told them countless times to add extra supports to the weak sections of tunnel. If only we had more of those wooden beams that we reinforced with bronze bottoms. Honestly, if I hear the earth shift one more time above my head, I'll be so stressed I may stop drinking for good. I mean, what's a Nord without his mead? Proper mining safety is important. Yep.
Someone there? Can't wait to count out your boy. Die already, so I can take your...
Let's do this. Oh no! I's dead. Fine, let's try this again. Do.
Bad time to get lost, friend. Just can't hide from me.
Tell you what, you stand back so I can stab you in the back. Had enough.
Light Armor Forging by Revis Saravani. There are two classes of light armor, metallic and non-metallic. Elven and glass are metallic light armor. You may be surprised to think that glass can be thought as metallic, but appearances are deceiving. What we call glass is nothing like the window panes you see in houses. The greenish material is far stronger and has a much higher melting point. Non-metallic armors are hide, stud, leather, and scaled. For those armor types, the forger is as much a tailor as a blacksmith. All use large pieces of leather stitched together with leather strips. Studded armor also needs iron ingots, from which you will make the studs and metal rings that make it more effective than simple hide. Scaled armor uses steel instead of iron, but the steel is infused with corundum to make the metal insert stronger. For centuries, the secrets of making elven armor was a closely guarded secret on the Somerset Isle. Then the betrayal of Yulvin Larian brought it to the rest of Tamriel. Yulvil was a dark elf slave working in the bellows for Nunloin, master smith of the Isle from the 5th through the 7th century of the Second Era. When Ulvil escaped, he could think no greater punishment than to met out to his cruel master than to reveal all of his secrets to the world. Thus we came to know that moonstone is the key ingredient in elven armor, and that salt water must be used to quench the hot metal. For gilded elven armor, you must also meld into quicksilver. It melts at a much lower heat than moonstone, making it tricky to work the two metals together. The trickiest of all is glass. Hammer blows struck across the grain result in risk of shattering. The armor, its principal ingredient, is malachite, although it also requires moonstone to give it the right strength. Interesting. There's a key somewhere on somebody that I should find. the thing you want me to hunt is so far away. Is it a fox? I think it's a fox. Or is it a rabbit? Oh, so it is in fact a fox. Yep. Do 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 do.
Keep your voice down. I'm fine. We should go inside to talk.
What's going on? And who's this?
He's a friend. Saved my life, in fact. Come on, I'll explain everything, but we need to go inside.
Okay, come inside then. Sigrid will get you something to eat, and you can tell me all about it.
A dragon! I saw a dragon!
What? What is it now, Mother?
It was as big as the mountain and black as night. It flew right over the barrel.
Dragons now, is it? Please, Mother. If you keep on like this, alone in town, and I've got better things to do than listen to your filthy fantasies.
It was a dragon. It'll kill us all, and then you'll believe me.
Sigrid, we have company.
Hadvar, we've been so worried about you. Come, you two must be hungry. Sit down and I'll get you something to eat.
Now then, boy, what's the big mystery? What are you doing here looking like you lost an argument with a cave bear?
I don't know where to stop. You know I was assigned to General Tullius' guard. We were stopped in Helgen when we were attacked by a dragon.
A dragon? That's ridiculous. You aren't drunk, are you, boy?
Husband, let him tell his story.
Not much more to tell. This dragon flew over and just wrecked the whole place. Mass confusion. I don't know if anyone else got out alive. I doubt I'd made it out myself if not for my friend here. I need to get back to Solitude and let them know what's happened. I thought you could help us out. Food, supplies, a place to stay.
Of course. Any friend of Hadvar's is a friend of mine. I'm glad to help however I can. Like I said, I'm glad to help in any way I can. But I need your help. We need your help. The Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose. Riverwood is defenseless. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun to send whatever soldiers he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your debt.
What do I get from Whiterun from here?
Cross the river and then head north. You'll see it just past the falls. When you get to Whiterun, just keep going up. When you get to the top of the hill, you're at Dragon's Reach, the Jarl's palace.
What can you tell me about the Jarl?
Balgruuf. He rules Whiterun Hold. A good man, perhaps a bit overcautious, but these are dangerous times. So far, he's managed to stay out of the war. I'm afraid it can't last, though. I don't think he likes either Ulfric or Elisif much. Who can blame him? But I've no doubt he'll prove loyal to the Empire in the end. He's no traitor. Of course, Skyrim has always been part of the Empire. That doesn't mean I support everything the Empire's been doing lately. But Nords have never been fair-weather friends. Ah, I forget you're new to Skyrim. Jarl Elisif, I should say. Although only because she was married to Jarl Torig when he was murdered. Ulfric murdered Torig, you know. Walked right into his palace in Solitude and killed him. Shouted him to death, if you believe the stories. That's what started this whole war. The Empire couldn't ignore that. Once the Jarls start killing each other, we're back to the bad old days. Gerder's family first settled here as woodcutters. A few generations ago, she and Hod run the mill. I make a decent living sharpening axes and fixing the sawmill. I see no harm in it, if you have the skill. The grindstone will improve your weapons. Use the table to improve your armor. If you've got the raw materials, you can use the forge to make something new. People are rightly stirred up about the damn Thalmor being allowed to roam around arresting people, just for worshipping Talos. But was it worth tearing Skyrim apart and maybe destroying the Empire? No. Ulfric will have a lot to answer for in the end. Nords have always supported the Empire, and the Empire has always been good for Skyrim. It's from that treaty that ended the Great War, remember? When the Emperor was forced by the Thalmor to outlaw Talos worship. We didn't pay much attention to it when I was a boy. Everyone still had their little shrine to Talos. But then, Ulfric and his Sons of Skyrim started agitating about it. Sure enough, the Emperor had to crack down, dragging people off in the middle of the night. One of the main causes of this war, if you ask me.
Did you really see a dragon? What did it look like? Did it have big teeth?
Hush, child. Don't pester your cousin.
Is that a book I spy? A Gentleman's Guide to Whiterun.
Did you really see a dragon? Papa says I'm too friendly with strangers. But you seem alright.
A Gentleman's Guide to Whiterun by Michael the Bard. Oh, this guy. Welcome, good sir, to the indispensable guide. Within these pages, I, your humble author, will guide and describe to you the great city of Whiterun, the jewel of the north. Whiterun offers numerous diversions for the man in search of adventure, fortune, and companionship. Whether for a night or for a lifetime, the city is graced with not one but two worthy taverns, and there are maids and wenches aplenty. The city is located rather centrally in Skyrim, and this is well, for it is not far from anywhere. Perched high upon a rocky hill, Whiterun dominates the little grassy plains that surrounds it. High stone walls protect its denizens from the wolves, mammoths, bandits, and other dangers. Looking beyond, when you first enter through the city's main gate, you will find yourself in the Plains District. This is so named because it is the lowest of the city's three neighborhoods. But here we can find the Bannered Mare, which I count among the finest taverns in all Skyrim. The scenery within is quite compelling if you have an eye for the fairer sex. A stout lass named Hulda tends the bar. Don't let that stony Nordic exterior fool you. She is possessed of that same fiery passion that all Nord women try so hard to conceal. Sadia, the barmaid, is an exotic Redguard beauty. She is quite mysterious, and your humble author is determined to learn her secrets. Outside the Bannered Mare is a modest marketplace, and here is where I found true love, though I will never deter a fellow hunting hound from the chase. For indeed, why should I author these tomes as not to provide guidance in this very matter? I must ask you do me this one kindness. Her name is Carlotta Valentina, and she is a magnificent beauty who makes a modest living selling bread and produce in the daylight hours. By the gods, I will make that feisty beauty mine someday. And of course, there are other services to be found. In the Plains District, Belthor's General Goods offers various sundry wares for the adventurous travels, and Arcadia's Cauldron offers what tonics and herbs one would expect from an apothecary's shop. Arcadia herself is an amiable sort. I often visit her to make conversation, as she is an imperial from home. She is, however, a bit old for my taste. A gentleman of advanced years might find in her worthy companion. Should you need your blade sharpened and your armor hammered, War Maidens offers smithing service very near the main gate. The smith is a pretty imperial named Adrienne Advinci, but she is married to a great bulking brute named Ulberth Warbear. Adrienne is quite fair, and I should not want to find myself being introduced to the keen edge of her husband's war axe. If married ladies are your preferred sport, then have at, but don't say that you weren't warned. Near the smith is a drunken huntsman. Here some of the wealthier gentlemen gather to share both drink and rumors of the wide world. If you prefer a more distinguished class of company while you sip fine wine, you'll be well at home here. Of the Wind District I have little to say. Most of the buildings of the second tier of the city are residences, though there are also the Temple of Kennereth and Jorvesker, the mead hall of the Companions. There are some interesting prospects to be found in the mead hall should you favor a strong and fearless warrior woman. You'll find little game at the temple, however. The priestess Danica Purestring is interested almost exclusively in spiritual matters. And at last we come to the Cloud District, exclusive domain of the Jarl's castle. I have had some merry adventures within the stone walls of Dragon's Reach, let me tell you. Serving girls are most easily impressed by a well-spoken gentleman. After all, the nights of Skyrim do grow quite cold, if you take my meaning. And I will not deny that I have visited the town's jail once or twice, which can be found in the lower levels of the palace. As for the Jarl and his court, take pains to avoid them. I find they lack any sense of humor or appreciation for divine culture, besides which they are all wealthy men, and so must be viewed as your most serious competition. These Nords are simple folk, after all, and too easily swayed by the sight of fine clothes and a purse full of septims. Now I will conclude this work by wishing you great success in your pursuits of women and wine. Spare a moment in your revels to think of me, your humble author, and the risk I have taken to bring you this most thorough report, and all things interest to discerning gentlemen in the grand city of Whiterun. Ah, but I will not lie and say that this was all hardship after all. Who could want to sleep alone in such cold, hard land as this? Not I.
Make yourself at home.
This is a local favorite and one of the first songs I ever
Are
learned.
you listening?
Ragnar the Red.
The ale is going bad. We need to get a new batch.
Once was a hero named Ragnar. Came riding to Whiterun.
Got a new order in for shields. I'm gonna need some hardwood planks. None of that soft pine this time. Aye, we can get that for you. We just finished the timber for those
But
castles.
then he went quiet.
Yes, war may be good for business, but it's hard on families. The hard truth, that is. Let's drink to the fallen ones.
I'm the innkeeper. Word is Ulfric Stormcloak escaped from the Imperials. War is only going to get worse now.
Didn't I tell you?
We got rooms and food. Drink, too. I cook. Ain't much else to tell. Long as you clean up. You know how to use it, right? Mix a couple of ingredients together. See what happens. A little wheat and blisterwort makes a healing potion, if you didn't know. We have plenty of ingredients for sale, too. All right, then.
We don't get a lot of travelers here.
I need some more ale.
All right. You've had more than enough. Besides, you still haven't paid for the last one.
I'll find some. You I always do.
Until then, I've no ale for you.
Hi, Carrie. Are you being a,
Faendal thinks he can woo Camilla Valerius away from me. She's already mine, I keep telling him. Camilla Valerius. I've seen him sneaking over to the Riverwood Trade Room. You may be right. Here, give Camilla this letter. It's full of venomous nonsense. Tell her it's from Faendal. Truly. You had best tell the Jarl in Whiterun. He needs to know about this. Until next time.
Okay. One sec, I'll be right back.
One of us has to do something.
I said no. No adventures, no theatrics, no thief chasing.
Well, what are you going to do then, huh? Let's hear it.
We are done talking about this. Oh, a customer. Sorry you had to hear that.
Maybe you could talk some sense into my pig-headed brother. What are you talking about? What's in the letter? Oh my. He wanted me to think Fandal wrote this? Thank you for telling me the truth. Could you talk to Fandal as well? I'm sure he'll want to thank you for standing up for him. All right then.
I don't know what, yeah, we did have a bit of a break-in. We still have plenty to sell. Robbers were only after one thing. An ornament. Solid gold in the shape of a dragon's claw. You could? I've got some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back. Now, if you're going to get those thieves, you should head to Bleak Falls Barrow, northwest of town.
So this is your plan, Lucan?
Yes. So now you don't have to go, do you?
Oh, really? Well, I think your new helper here needs a guide.
No, By the 8, fine. But only to the edge of town.
We have to go through town and across the bridge to get to Bleak Falls Barrow. You can see it from here, though. The mountain just over the buildings. Those thieves must be mad hiding out there. Those old crypts are filled with nothing but traps, trolls, and who knows what else. I wonder why they only stole Lucan's golden claw. I mean, we have plenty of things in the shop that are worth just as much coin. Lucan found the claw about a year after he opened the store. He never quite explained where he got it. He's a tricky one. This is the bridge out of town. The path up the mountain to the northwest leads to Bleak Falls Barrow. I guess I should get back to my brother. He'll throw a fit if I take too long. Such a child.
Did you really see a dragon?
Come on in. We got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
Where are you, Fendel?
Out of my way, stranger.
I'm thinking of making some apple cabbage stew.
Dark, huh? Are you trying to starve the child?
She needs to learn to eat what I say.
There's Fendel.
Never mind about that.
Hi, been looking for you.
Greetings, Brother Elf. I appreciate your help. Please, take this. Some gold I've saved up from working at the mill. Lead the way.
What do you want, little elf?
Good morning.
Haha. Yes.
handle yourself well, you could make for a decent shield, brother. An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough. Not for me to say. You'll have to talk to Kodlak Whitemane up in Jorvaskar. The old man's got a good sense for people. He can look in your eyes and tell your worth. If you go to him, good luck.
Okay, Ivanova.
By Easmere, it's true. A jester, funny suit and all. Just north, by the Lorius farm. Fool had a coffin in a cart with a broken leg and see him laugh his way out of that.
Well, sounds like you've had quite the journey, Uthgar. But you have gone long.
Halt. City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Riverwood's in danger too. We better go on in. We'll find the Jarl in Dragon's Reach, at the top of the hill.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own. Why don't you swallow that stubborn pride of yours and ask Yorland Greymane for help?
I'd sooner bend my knee to Ulfric's Stormcloak. Besides, Greymane would never make steel for the Legion.
Have it your way. I'll take the job, but don't expect a miracle.
One sec, I'll be right back.
Oh, did you need something? Until next time.
Yes?
Need something?
I only counsel caution. We cannot afford to act rashly in times like these. If the news from Helgen is true, well, there's no telling what it means. My lord, please, you have to listen.
What would you have me do then? Nothing?
What's the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balgruuf is not receiving visitors.
I just think we need more information.
Well, that explains why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
So, you were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your own eyes? By Ysmir, Irileth was right. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains...
The Jarl of Falkreath will view that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not...
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service. I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons. Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there. Ah, no mere brute mercenary, but a thinker. Perhaps even a scholar?
You
See, when the stories of dragons began to circulate, many dismissed them as mere fantasies, rumors, impossibilities. One sure mark of a fool is to dismiss anything that falls outside his experience as being impossible. But I began to search for information about dragons. Where had they gone all those years ago? And where were they coming from?
So what do you need me to
I
do?
learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow.
Oh, did you now?
Dragonstone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself. An old tomb, built by the ancient Nords, perhaps dating back to the Dragon War itself. Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here. I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there. Well, must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? I have my sources. Reliable sources. You know,
This
if
is
you've
a
got the
priority
aptitude,
now.
you should join the
Anything we
Mages
can use
College
to fight
in
this
Winterhold.
dragon, or dragons. We need it quickly, before it's too late.
Of course, Jarl Balgroof. You seem to have found me an able assistant. I'm sure he will prove most useful.
Succeed at this, and you'll be rewarded. Whiterun will be in your debt.
I'm not going to take out a pet bird. Okay. I know you're highlighting an animal in the city, but all the animals in the city are other people's property.
Yes, Houseboy. Leave immediately. It's just us against the dragon.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. Welcome to War Maidens. Now don't let the name worry you. We got plenty of steel for fighting men. Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. Good doing business with you.
And this is where I'm going to leave it for today. So, until next time, so long, and thanks for all the fish.